February 1945. Germany was collapsing, but its armored forces were still deadly. Along a narrow stretch of the Western Front, one of the last operational Panzer divisions prepared a counterattack, an armored hammer meant to punch through thin American lines and buy the Reich precious time. What they didn't expect was that their advance would be stalled almost unbelievably by one American tank crew. The tank was an M4A3 Sherman, not the best armored, not the most feared, not the kind of machine anyone believed could stop German Panthers and Mark IVs head-on. Inside were 5 men, a driver, a gunner, a loader, a bow gunner, and a commander barely older than 22. They were exhausted, cold, and running low on ammunition. But when reports came in that German armor was approaching a key crossroads, the only route for retreating civilians and supply convoys, they made a decision. We're not giving up this road. As fog lifted from the fields, the silhouettes of German tanks emerged, first 3, then 6, then an entire column. Any rational crew would have withdrawn. But the Americans used the only weapon stronger than steel: position. They backed their Sherman into a defilade behind a barn ruin, exposing only their gun barrel. The gunner steadied his breathing. The loader's hands shook as he rammed in an armor-piercing round. The first Panther turned its turret. The Sherman fired first. A lucky strike directly into the thinner side armor. The German tank erupted in flame. The Panzer column halted, confused. A single hidden Sherman was not what they expected. Again the Americans fired. A Mark IV stalled, then another. The Panzer division began fanning out, trying to flank the barn. Inside the Sherman, the crew fought like men with nothing to lose. They shifted positions, fired smoke, reversed behind hedgerows, popped out again like ghosts. Each shot bought minutes. Minutes the American infantry desperately needed to form a defensive line. Eventually, the Germans brought up anti-tank guns. The barn exploded under shell fire. The Sherman took a hit shrapnel, cutting through the turret like gravel through glass. The commander was wounded. The loader burned his hands, but the gun still fired. By the time the Sherman was finally disabled, the crossroads behind it was filled with U.S. reinforcements. The Panzer attack meant to roll through the valley stalled permanently. German officers later wrote in disbelief, "We were delayed by a single American tank that refused to die." The 5-man crew survived, bruised, burned, shaken, but alive. And the line they held prevented a breakthrough that could have cost hundreds of Allied lives. They didn't win by being stronger. They won because they understood the oldest truth of armored warfare. A tank is only as powerful as the men inside it, and some crews carry more courage than an entire division.